Welcome to all you lovely people here. And uh, now, what we are going to do is start a series on fast track your success. Now, for us as human beings, success is very important, and success is different at different times in life. Like when we are little toddlers, when we don't even know what success is. For our parents, success is that we start walking, that we start eating on our own. That's a big success. As we grow up, then our success is, being able to cycle, being able to probably drive a car, being able to pass the exams. So, all that is form of success. When as you grow up, once you start a job, then the success milestone always keeps shifting. I remember when I first got my job, it was for rupees 1500. And oh my, I was so thrilled. I was like, wow, I'm going to get 1500 rupees for a month. And because I joined in a little, like I joined on 5th or 6th, whatever date. So I got 962 rupees in hand in that month. And that felt like a huge success. It's like, okay, after spending parents' money, now I'm able to earn some money. So that 962 rupees was one of my first initial taste of success. Of course, as you grow in life, as the years pass on, the idea of success keeps shifting. So when I say fast track your success, I'm not saying fast track your success in job. I'm not saying only fast track your success in finance. I'm not just saying fast track your success in health. I'm not just saying fast track your success in career. I'm saying fast track whatever is your idea of success, right? And in whichever area of life. Now, we have this lovely lady, Roshni. She is a yoga expert. So, for her, her idea of current success is she has been doing some 300 and how many days, Roshni?
So today was 399, touching 400 tomorrow.
Awesome. So she has been consistently for past 399 days doing 1 hour of very specialized yoga. And tomorrow is going to be a milestone day for her, 400th day. Now that is her success. For Anushka, her success is मेरा 12th में अच्छा marks आ जाए मैडम मेरे को admission मिल जाए. So it's different for different people. Now this workshop and the series of workshop that we are going to have going forward is relevant to each one of you. You just have to place your success in whenever I say success. Done? Right? So we make it relevant for all of us. Now, I would like to start the exercise. First thing I would like to know that when I say the word handwriting, what is the first word that comes in your mind? Just type in the chat box. Hello, Milan. Lovely to have you there. So when I say the word handwriting, what's the first thing that comes in your mind? Pen. Okay. What else? Not so good. Okay. Just yesterday, I had a webinar and two people said that it is messy. My writing is messy. So if somebody says handwriting, I'm scared. I'm scared कि कहीं मुझे लिखने को बोल दिया, तो then, kind of I'm gone. So, okay. So, not so good. What else? Neelam ji, Manali, good handwriting. Nice. Nice to have someone happy with their writing. What else, Neelam ji? Okay, so while we understand this, our experience with handwriting. Now, all our experience, whenever I say about handwriting, is based on what we have done so far, right? A lot of people, for them, handwriting is reminiscence of examination because exam के वक्त लिखना पड़ता है. So it's always like handwriting means it's a stress. I have to keep writing papers and I'm going to be graded on the number of pages I have written and stuff like that. So what I would like to currently, what I would like you to do is pick up the plain paper that you have and I want you to write in 2, 3 lines your idea of success in two areas of life. First is relationship, and second is career. So, whatever it is, your idea of success in relationship. So, Anushka, if you're wondering what, so for example, I have a daughter, she's 16 years old. So, for me, one important thing when I think of relationship is how I can have a fun relationship with her, where she can talk about even her crushes with me. So, that's my idea of success in relationship. So accordingly, you can think about your idea of success in relationship, right? Then other is idea of success in career. So when like Manali has just come from office, so when you are coming back, you have done something for the day, and for you the idea of success is, did I achieve whatever I set out to do, or something was left? Do I have to do it tomorrow? And long term, like what's my idea of success 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line in my career? So write 2, 3 lines about each for relationship and for career. So I'll give you a minute there to write that.
Plain paper is a must or
Preferable.
preferable? Okay. Because right now I don't have, I have the diary. So
Okay,
can I?
write in that. Yeah, write in that.
Otherwise, I will search for the paper. Get it somewhere here.
So write it out. Otherwise, delay ho jayega. I
Huh.
want you to write it. That is very important. So write it in a lined page also. That's okay. So I hope all of you have written on relationship. Pick up the career now. Just 2, 3 lines, not very exhaustive. Okay. Uh, 10 seconds to go. Wind up your writing. Okay, so now you can stop writing and look at both the 2, 3 sentences that you have written in relation and career. And now read it and tell which one which one is currently, uh, is feeling very important. So first is relationship, second is career. So just show with your fingers which one is currently feeling more important. Relationship or career? Okay, Anushka is career. Career for Roshni. Manali, relationship or career? Relationship. Okay, second is.
Relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, career. Second is career. So you said relationship, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I said relationship.
First. Okay, okay. And Neelamji, what about you? So Gayatri, welcome to the webinar. What we have done is we have written a couple of sentences relating to two aspects of our life. One is relationship and the second is career. So if you have a plain paper, just pick up a paper and write couple of sentences. Rather, now I would request you to write just one sentence about relationship. That's the first one. And one another
Okay.
sentence about career. That's the second one. You got that, Gayatri?
Yeah, but what kind of sentence? Like whatever comes to my mind, I
Okay,
should
yeah.
write that.
So correct. Good question. The context is we are talking about success. We are talking about how do we fast track our success. That's the overall objective of this webinar. So what does success mean to you in relationship? One sentence for that. And what does success mean to you in career? One sentence for that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, fine.
For
Got it.
the others who have written couple of sentences, and uh, for one relationship resonates and for the other two career resonates, so I want you to write a short sentence on your choice, whether resonating is career or relation. Make that sentence a short one, like around 5 6 words. So for example, maybe Roshni, could you volunteer, like, if you had to write those 2 3 sentences in a short one sentence, what would that be? Unmute.
Actually I can, but there is a disturbance in my background. Is it okay?
It's okay.
All right. So career, it would be like, if I have to combine all, it's helping people and giving back to the society by spreading the. Rajab, I have to shorten it in 5 6 words. Okay. So it could be just simple one, helping people lead a better life.
Okay. Helping people lead, I think for you, it is more of a healthy life, if I'm correct.
Yeah, healthy life. Actually, I had written that afterwards, healthy, sustainable habits.
Ah,
But yeah, a healthy life.
so helping people lead a healthy life. Okay. So
Hmm.
just make it short. I hope you all got it. Welcome, Rabia. Welcome. Rabia, for you, it might be a repeat because this one is a repeat of last one. Going forward, I will now take each topic of whatever we did in the mind map. Okay. So stay tuned if you like. If you have something else to attend to, you're free to do whatever works for you. Yeah. So,
Thank you so much. I will be there as long as I can.
okay, Rabia, good to have you. So make a short sentence of that and write that sentence in your regular writing. Just write that sentence and mark it as one. Gayatri, were you able to write both the sentences?
Yes.
Right. So now you
Uh,
have to decide which one resonates for you right now, which one feels important. So pick one of that, and as I did with Roshni, make it a short sentence. Okay. So pick anyone.
okay.
Which one are you picking up, relationship or career?
Right now, I'm picking up career.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have majority picking up career here. So, okay, career. So write
Yeah.
that sentence, shorten it just in 5 6 words, and write it in your regular writing and mark it as one.
Okay.
Okay, everyone done with that? Fine. Now we are going to do something interesting. Now I want you to write the same sentence in very chotu font, small letters. Okay, legible. It should be readable, but it should be like really teeny meeny. So write the same sentence in very small font size, in very small writing size. And as you write that, check your body how comfortable or uncomfortable it feels. So keep checking your body how comfortable or uncomfortable it feels. So I will ask you to scale it on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable it is to write compared to your regular writing. So if it is very comfortable, you can mark it as 8, 9. But if it is very uncomfortable, you can mark it as 2, 3, the level of discomfort. Okay. Done? Chotu motu teeny meeny likh liya? Done. Okay. Now we are going to do the opposite. Now we are going to write in big letters the same sentence. Like helping people. 5. Okay, Manali. 5 is neutral. So either make it 6 or make it 4. Neutral nahi chalega. We have to decide whether I'm comfortable or not comfortable. 4. Sounds good. Okay, now we're going to write large letters. For example, if I take Roshni's words, helping people lead healthy life. So helping like HEL, like large letters. So write it in large. Whatever is your idea of success in relationship or career.
Right?
Written,
Like, do we need to write in cursive or the capital letters?
not capital. Not capital, but large letters. बड़ा लिखना है, capital नहीं. Good question, Anushka. Thanks for that. Yeah, so we don't have to write in capital, we have to write in large letters. Once you are done, show me a thumbs up. Done? Okay. I'll just wait for a moment for Anushka and Gayatri to catch up.
Yeah, I'm done.
Done? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now, what next we are going to do is very interesting. Which hand of mine is this? Is it left or right?
Right.
Right? Okay.
Right.
So now what you're going to do is you write the same words. So this was 2, large letters was 2. Sorry, it was 3. First was regular, second was small, third was large. Now, fourth one is you write the letters on left slant. So, for example, if I'm writing the word helping, so it will go like this: H, E, L, P. So, some left slant hoga. You get that? So, like we normally write straight. So, all these letters will be left slant. This is your baseline, and all the letters will be left slant. So this is your fourth sample, and keep checking your body how you are feeling by writing this way. जितना लेफ्ट लिख सको उतना लेफ्ट लिखो.
Actually, just excuse me for some time. I'm just reconnecting on my laptop.
Okay.
It's slipped out of my mind that today this seminar was there. I'm so sorry. Sorry, webinar.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll just
That's like
read.
a seminar only, though it's a webinar. But yeah.
Yeah.
So do that. Change it up, and so done.
Yeah.
I guess. Right, the left slant is done. Now this was your fourth writing. Okay. Now we come to the fifth one. Any guesses what I will ask you to write?
Right.
Yes. So now write your same sentence with right slant. जितना right लिख सकते हो. So write the same sentence with right slant. Okay. Now, for those who are done, I want you to write on a scale of 1 to 10 your comfort level, which felt very comfortable and which felt very uncomfortable. So write it in the paper, and in the chat box, just write which one was very comfortable. So whatever it was, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, which was very comfortable, comma, which was very uncomfortable, like the most uncomfortable of all. So just write 2 numbers with a comma in the chat box.
We have to scale this or just write comfortable or uncomfortable?
Comfortable or uncomfortable? So because you have scaled, now you know which one was most comfortable and uncomfortable. So for Anushka, the most comfortable was the first one, which is the regular writing. And fourth one, which is like the left slant, was very uncomfortable. Okay. So for Roshni, the large one was most comfortable and the small one was most uncomfortable. Okay. For Neelamji, fifth, that is the right slant was comfortable and left slant was uncomfortable. Interesting. Interesting. And Manali, what about you? If you could also type it out.
First one is comfortable and fifth one is very uncomfortable. Right slanting.
Very uncomfortable.
Right.
Okay. So normally your writing is straight or slightly to the left?
Straight writing.
It's straight writing. Okay, yeah. Fine. Okay. Okay, so now keep your paper pen down and just think that it's the same sentence you're writing. Manali, 1 comfortable, 5 uncomfortable. Okay. It's the same sentence you're writing, yet there is so much of comfort and discomfort. Why is that so? It's the same sentence, same person, same paper, same pen, same time, and yet the body is, reacting to the way you are writing. Why? Any guesses?
Our mind is wired in that way that we never ever used to write in a right side of this thing. So that might be the reason, because the some what you can say, stamping was there in the unconscious mind. Writing should be this way, this way, this way. Is that so? That's what I feel.
Very much on the track. We have been trained to write in a certain way. So I'm not saying by the teachers, because teacher trained us the same way. All of us sitting here in the Zoom meeting right now, we were taught the same ABCD. We were given the same workbooks to practice ABCD, yet all our writings are different. I can bet on it. None of our writings would be same. But our experiences, as you said, stamping, like somebody, so all the experiences which are stored in our subconscious mind show up in writing. For example, when Roshni wrote helping, so when she's writing helping, that's a conscious mind because she knows she's writing the word helping. But the way she's writing HELPING, that is the subconscious mind. Now, all those letter formation depends on what are the life experiences that I have gone through. That's why you will write, some people write very small, some people write very large. It is a reflection of what's going on in the subconscious mind. And I'm sure most of you people know that which part of our mind is bigger, the conscious mind or the subconscious mind? Which part is bigger? The subconscious, right? Our conscious mind is, there are different numbers, but most of the times it's like 10 to 15% is our conscious mind. And our subconscious mind is the rest. Now imagine अगर वो brain का इतना part occupy करता है, तो what is the power it has on us? Now, and all that, the way we write is a reflection of what is happening in the subconscious mind. Now, each one of us present here, and I guess in the planet Earth, everyone knows कि अगर fit होना है तो exercise करना है या walk करना है. Do you think there is anybody in the world who doesn't know this? Everybody knows. Yet, how many exercise? Everybody knows. But actually exercising becomes a different scenario, and that depends on the subconscious programming. And that is what the handwriting shows. That one experience you just now had, that when you write it differently, because you have been programmed, your wiring, internal wiring is to write in a certain way. When I ask you to write differently, it's uncomfortable. Same way, the way when you have a certain habit which you want to break, but when you try to break it, it's difficult, it's uncomfortable. For example, waking up early. If I'm waking up at 7, if I have to wake up at 6, it is not as easy as just setting the alarm. It's not. Even when the alarm rings, we know we should get up. We just know it. But do we? Our brain is so clever. It will say, Arey, yesterday I had a long day, yaar. आज मैं सो जाती हूँ. Tomorrow I'll get up. Tomorrow, when again the alarm rings, it's like our brain will figure out some excuse. But getting up at 6 is not an easy thing. I mean, just getting up earlier than you do is an exercise. It's something that you have to repeatedly do. And what is your current writing is something you have been repeatedly doing in your life, which is what's showing up as writing. And that is why the reverse is also true. If what is over here shows in the writing, when you change the way you write, it changes the wiring over here. And that is the beauty of handwriting as a tool of transformation. छोटे छोटे चीजों को चेंज करना है और उसका बड़ा बड़ा इम्पैक्ट होता है. And that is the science which is known as graphotherapy. Okay. Now, that is our experience of handwriting, of graphotherapy, that's why actually handwriting is also known as brain writing. You must be knowing that there are many people who, for unfortunate reason, have to write through their mouth. Many have to write through their legs because they have lost their hands. Interesting part is that handwriting remains the same. I mean, their writing remains the same, whether they write through their mouth or through their legs or through their hands. I know it's surprising, isn't it? A very trained graphologist can understand the difference कि ये थोड़ा अलग तरह से लिखा हुआ है. Okay, so because basically it is your brain writing. We say handwriting because 95% of the population writes through hand, probably 98%. So we end up saying handwriting. But handwriting is brain writing. अब आप कौन से भी organ से लिखो, finally it is your subconscious mind जिसका imprint हो रहा है. Has anybody seen current अपने जो newly elected president of USA है, Donald Trump? Has anyone seen their signature? Okay. So for all those who have not seen, do Google it later on. And when you look at the signature, somehow you will feel, this must be Donald Trump only. Okay. There is in one of my webinars, I had done an analysis of Gandhiji's signature and Donald Trump's signature. Both are leaders. Both have moved the nation. One moved the nation for freedom, other moved the nation for election. But they moved an entire nation, and yet their leadership styles are so different. And when you look at the signature, you can see that difference, right? So, okay, that's about handwriting, about brain writing, about also neuroplasticity. As Manali said, we are programmed to write in this way. We have repeatedly written, and so this is our writing today. Neuroplasticity, over decades, there has been a lot of research that has happened, and which shows that our brain has the capacity to change, even to change physically. Forget the wiring to hota hi hai, but even physically it can undergo change by the power of neuroplasticity. And that is exactly what graphotherapy utilizes to bring that transformation within. See? So what we will do is keep the handwriting now aside. हम उसको park करते हैं. Okay, we have understood writing. Now we are going to understand our idea of success. And then in the third part, we will bring them both together. Okay, so first part we have understood writing. Second part we will understand success. And the third part we will combine the two. So for that, I will just do a screen sharing so that you all can see this mind map. Okay, so just tell me, is this mind map visible to each? Just show me. Visible? Okay, fine. Great. Thanks. So now what we are going to do? We are going to understand success in a slightly different way. Lovely to have your cameras open, Gayatri. Thank you. Neelamji, if you also open up your camera, it would really, it feels good to see people, Okay, so I'm trying to expand my window here. Okay. Good evening, Nisha.
Good evening. Sorry, just couldn't help.
Okay, no problem. We have done the segment of trying to understand handwriting. Now we are going to understand what success means, and then we will combine the two. Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah, so looking at success over here. Success has two parts. One is, what is my idea of success? Whether, let's say, for example, in the initial exercise, we took relationship and career. So if, for example, we continue with that, what is my vision of success in area of relationship? So when I say vision, dreams, ikigai bolo, aspiration bolo, currently I'm using them as one. What is my bigger picture is what basically the question is. What is my bigger picture? What is my idea of success? That is the first part. That decides the direction where you are going. And once you have decided the direction, then comes the day-to-day functioning. Kaise I take the steps on that road Like I've taken a direction, I've taken a road. Now, how do I take the steps every day and walk towards what my idea of success is? And one thing that I would like to really talk about here is that why direction is very important is because very often we find that we take a direction, we start walking, and then from some other direction someone calls. Like, for example, if I am standing in the center and I look at my life's vision and I think, okay, my path is towards the north. I my dream is towards the north. I start walking towards north. Then someone calls me from west. Hey Preeti, come here. This is interesting. And I'm like, yeah, it is interesting. So I have started going to north, then I take the west. I walk there. Then someone from the south says, oh, Preeti, this is very interesting. And I'm like, yeah, this is far more successful. It is trending. People are talking about it, blah, blah, blah. I go south. And then something else happens. I again go west. And then after a year, I wonder, I wanted to go north and where am I? I'm just not in that direction. While this may sound very simplistic, but if अगर हम अपने life को टटोले, तो we will realize that this happens day in, day out. Especially if I think of myself at Anushka's age, I was in all directions. I was east, west, north, south, northeast, southeast, southwest. I was in all directions because everything felt glittery. Everything felt, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And that's why having a vision becomes really very important. So we are going to see this step by step, that what is my idea of success? What is the vision that I have of success? Now, how does that get influenced? For example, when I was walking on north and then I decided to go west, what influenced me to go to west? And even before that, what influenced me to go north? What influenced me to choose north? Okay. So if we think about what influences us, typically there are two things that influences us. One is my internal conversation and other is the external conversations. What are internal conversations? The conversations that I have with myself, the thoughts that I have, my belief system, the self-talk that I have, that is my internal communication, internal conversations. And if these internal conversations are empowering, they serve me, then I keep moving forward. So, for example, I decided to go north. So I go north, with my full energy, with my enthusiasm, with my value system, with my energy, with all the resources that I have. I start going towards north. But if my internal conversation there is doubt in it, I'm not really sure that I want to go there or I don't want to go there, then there will always be hesitation. I will take one step towards north and sit there and wonder, am I doing the right thing? So there will be hesitation. So even if I have taken the right direction, I may probably not progress if my internal conversations are not empowering. And this is where you will find courage to make the choices that lead to true success and satisfaction. That is how the internal conversations work. And if I talk about external conversations, any guesses on what external conversation would include? You can type in the chat box or you can say it out. Yeah.
The people or the persons in our life, how we get influenced by them, and we carried away with that.
We get carried away with that. So what conversations are we listening to? Somebody's expectation out of me, right? Family influence. For example, I remember a friend of mine, she said, नहीं business तो नहीं करूंगी प्रीति, मेरे family में किसी ने नहीं किया है. We just have no idea about how business can be done. So that's like, and family वाले मानेंगे भी नहीं because investment करना पड़ता है. Job में तो first month onwards you get a salary. In business you have to first invest. So that idea just didn't fall in their system. So family influence comes in there. The work culture, the kind of work environment you are in, what are you hearing there? That highly influences, what your entire environment, the peer opinion. Now, these are the conversations happening around you. Now, if these conversations, if they reinforce your dreams and if you let them, so either you let them influence or you don't let them influence, right? If you don't let them influence, that's great, because then your internal conversations are very strong. You have strong belief in what you want and where you're going. But if your external, but if you're getting influenced, then what happens? These conversations may enforce your dream. You may be having certain dream in your mind, and if the work culture is very progressive, is very inclusive, you may find that it is easier to work towards your dream. But if it is not so, then you will find that you're pressured into certain choices that you didn't really want to make. You're pressured into taking projects that you really don't believe in. I Just a little background about me. I have been running my own advertising agency for 22 years, and later certain things happened because of which my childhood hobby of graphology became very big in my life, and that's what I do day in day out now. The reason I brought this up is that in my advertising work, we once had a client who was into lottery, and it was a big campaign. Lottery ka, that Mahalakshmi lottery, and now I forget. बहुत सारे lotteries हैं. So, when we started talking about the client, somehow we didn't feel it right. That, okay, we are encouraging people to gamble. We are encouraging people to lose money. So do we really want to be a part of that campaign? And we said no to that. So that is an example of whether you're pressured in your work culture to do things that you don't believe in. Luckily, we were running the advertising agency, me and my friend. So it was in our hand to say yes or no. But in a big working setup, your bosses decide the project for you. And if the pressure is into making those choices that is not aligned with yourself, then you will find that you wanted to go north, but you're probably going south, east, west, in other directions, and you don't even feel good about it because this does not align with you. Also, at times you end up taking path that is safer. Everybody in the office is probably doing this, taking a project in a particular way, so you will also follow the same way, though you may have a certain different idea about it. If you all know, वो जो किसकी है, हैप्पी डेंट की एड है, where he opens the teeth and पूरा light हो जाता है, lamp से light हो जाता है. Now that particular ad campaign was actually done by a big agency, but the idea was of an office boy. The brainstorming was going on within the agency, and the office boy said, ऐसा होगा तो कितना अच्छा रहेगा. Now this is very, it's not safe. You're listening to somebody who is below pay grade, like nowhere in the radar. But the work culture was such that they were open to listening to other ideas. So that's the kind of impact work culture can have on you. And that is the impact of external conversations on your vision, your dreams, your idea of ikigai, or your aspirations. Does this resonate? Does this make sense that, yeah, this is probably what is happening? And while you're looking at this, I'm still keeping this part of the mind map on. I would like you to write down out of these what is working for you, what is not working in your favor, and what is working in your favor. So, is internal conversation working in your favor? So, make two columns: working in my favor, not working in my favor. So, what is working in your favor? Is internal conversation working? Is the expectation from people working in your favor? Is your family influence working in your favor? And what is not working in your favor? Because I want this to be relevant to each one of us. So I'll just keep this slide for another 10 seconds and then move to the other part. So Neelam, Rabia, Roshni, Gayatri, I hope you guys are also writing. Okay. So now,
One second. You mean to say that this working for me and not working for me means we get carried away with them, or because sometimes the internal conversation work for me, but for many of the times I do listen to the other people, thinking that uh, I can work on it, or this idea is better or something like that. So it's a combination sort of. It's not exactly the
always
internal.
it always is. So you write it in both the sides, and later on you take time to list it out that what aspects of internal conversation are working for you. What things are you very clear about? So that you take a little time later on to list that out. So when you're saying at times internal conversation doesn't work because I get influenced. So you're getting influenced by whom? By family, by your own expectation or your spouse expectation or your children expectations or your work culture or anything, your friend circle, social media, right? It's social media is such a trending thing and such a powerful thing. It can make you or it can break you. It can give you so much of information. It can give you intelligence of how people are thinking, what is important for them, and you can use them in your favor. Or else you get carried away, just consume social media and become a victim. So, social media can be used in both ways. Social media can also help you have better internal conversations because there are so many posts, beautiful posts, where people talk about, nuggets, how you can talk positively to yourself, how do you have focus, so it's how you use the tool. Okay, thanks for that question, Manali. And now we are going to go to the other aspect, the day-to-day functioning. So this is the bigger picture I'm seeing, right? And now what happens in the day-to-day functioning? So any area of life you take, whether it's relationship, career, health, anything, when I talk about day-to-day functioning, it could be a project, it could be a task, it's a profile that you're working in. Any of these will have three parts to it. One is before you start the project, pre, during the project, and after the project. Okay, so it's like pre, during, and post. Now we will understand how our success gets impacted. So before we start any project, okay, um, so what example can I take? Gayatri, what's your work profile? What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? If you could unmute and say.
Yeah, actually, I was working as a lecturer previously. Now I am into search of some other opportunity as I have completed my PhD recently.
Okay, fine. So what was your PhD subject?
It was in computer application.
Computer application. Okay. So for example, if I take Gayatri's example, she's doing a PhD and she has to write papers on it, right? So before she begins writing the paper, what are the thoughts going on in her mind is probably what would come in pre. So what are the blocks, Typically, the blocks are procrastination, self doubt, confusion, narrow perspective, not having clarity about how to go ahead with it. So, these are the common roadblocks that come before starting any project. And you will realize that if you do not overcome these roadblocks, either you will not start only. Like I know one PhD student, she's doing PhD on Sardar Vallabhai Patel. And she's so passionate about Sardar Vallabhai Patel, but she's so overwhelmed by everything that she knows about him that putting it on paper is becoming a task for her. So, because it's such an overwhelm, she doesn't start only. So, procrastination sets in. that how will I ever even compile this? So she doesn't begin. And that what becomes a block for her, procrastination. So even before starting the work, वो start ही नहीं होगा because all these are the blocks that is playing in my space. So either the project will get delayed or you will begin the project, but without complete information. So you may say, नहीं चालू तो करना है, I will start tomorrow, but you will not probably do the groundwork because that scare is there of getting the work done because probably clarity is not there. There could be many scenarios. Now that I would be taking up in the upcoming webinars. So that's before you even start something. During, once when you are in the project, when you have started it, what happens? There is so much of stress. There is so much of pressure that comes from different quarters. There is burnout. You feel that you're probably burning the candle at both ends, and you feel you're not left with any energy to do anything ahead. There's overwhelm, there's conflict. मैं ये करूं या वो करूं? Time management becomes an issue, and because there's so much happening, focus goes for a toss. And these are the common blocks that you will find that hinders your success in this phase of the project, like during the project. And if you do not overcome these blocks, they drain your energy. Your productivity is gone for a toss. What a work that you can probably do in an hour will take 5 hours, 6 hours. And then the next day you're so upset with yourself that probably you will get zero thing done. That how I could spend so much time just doing one task creates frustration, creates anger towards self, towards others. And if this person happens to be a mother, then the brunt of that anger goes to the child. The child comes and even touches the mom and she flares up. So these are things that happen which block our success. When I talk about the post aspect of it, like the job is done, you have submitted the project or the work that required to be done, you have done it. What happens after that? So a client of mine, he's in Bangalore and he was an IT professional. And for him, this was a major block. He would get things done, but he was so unsure of himself कि he would wonder कि ये काम बराबर हुआ होगा या नहीं. So he would not even go to his superiors and get a feedback. Is everything in order? Do I need to correct something? Should I add something to it? Do you want me to relook into anything? He would just submit the project and sit, like just too scared to get the feedback. What if they say something bad? Now that's so much of low confidence that the person was just not ready to be open for a feedback. And many a times you will find people saying, Arey, mera to barabar hi tha. It's because of him that my work got this. I was doing it, but he came and disturbed me. So we find, as I said, our brain is clever. It finds excuses. Resisting feedback is another common block that comes. Other is blaming someone else. I did my work. He did not do the work. And that's why my work suffered. If you are preparing a software and you are creating one function, the other person creates other function. And if both those functions don't work together, you will say, Mera to barabar tha. I don't know about his. So it's like, I'm good. It's others' problem. At times you compare your work that, oh my God, mera to, the other person's work was so good. His PPT presentation was so nice. And I don't think my work really, was up to the standard. I don't think people will appreciate my work. And all those self-doubts keep coming in. A lot of time the communication struggle happens. Because of all this, there is a hesitation to go and tell that this doesn't work. This needs improvement. Even during the project also, there are times that you have to say no to something so that you get your thing done. Now, the ability to say no is also a huge block that people have. It's, everybody wants to be in good books, so they don't want to say no. And then everything is taken but cannot be finished. So these are certain roadblocks that you will find on your way to success. And I would like you to currently analyze your own patterns and write in your book that where is it that you find most of your success blocks are in. It's in pre, during, or post. So I'll give you 20 seconds to just write that down. Where do you find that block being very strong? What is stopping you? Done? Okay. Now I would like to bring in the first thing that we parked aside, our handwriting. You remember the difference you felt in your first sample, second sample, third sample, fourth sample, and the fifth one. Now that differences come in, they are in a way signaling where your blocks are. What is it that is actually not working in your favor? And each of these blocks that you see here, when I spoke about handwriting and we experienced how handwriting is brain writing, each of these blocks can be very easily addressed by handwriting. And in my work as a success coach, where I combine graphology and NLP, I very often use. So I'm closing the mind map now. Is that okay? Yeah? Okay. I think they're not able to write. We'll settle down in 30 minutes. Okay, Roshan. Right. So, as I was saying that I use handwriting in two very important ways. One is as a mirror, where I can see what is my current state of mind, or what is when I see somebody's writing sample, what is that person's current state of mind? What are the blocks the person is having? What are the personality traits? How is the person thinking? How is the person processing information? How is the person in company? Is the person comfortable, not comfortable in company? Currently, I'm working with a client in Mumbai, and because of his own story, which I would not want to disclose here, but he's averse to having company. So there is a different pattern in his spacing of the handwriting. He prefers to maintain distance with people. थोड़ा सा दो तीन बात किया and then he's done. He's like, okay, fine. बहुत हो गया types. All that is seen in your writing. So it becomes a mirror of what is the writer's personality, what works for him, what doesn't work for him. So that's using handwriting as a mirror. The other way is using handwriting as a map. Now, because as a mirror, I have analyzed the writing, I know the starting point of the person. When we go to a destination, so we sit in the car, we put the destination, Google Map mein. Otherwise, the Google Map will just show where you are standing. Will it show you the direction if you don't put the destination? So you first put the destination. So I understand what is the idea of success for the person. What is the goal for the person? Once I know that, and I know the starting point because of the handwriting as a mirror, I know the starting point and I know what are the blocks. So we navigate that person's car to their destination. So using handwriting as a map is another way that, handwriting can be beautifully used to overcome your blocks. You remember the mind map where you saw pre, post, during, internal conversation, external conversation. You saw a list of blocks over there. Now, when we are doing this travel, so we are adjusting those blocks. We are managing those blocks. Some of the blocks we have to remove. Some of the blocks have to be managed. So that is a lot of technicalities involved, but yeah, overall that is what one does. And that is the beauty of, now imagine that all these blocks, if even 50% of them you are able to manage, what do you think will be your speed towards your success? Will it be more better than today? Right? Even if 50% of the blocks you are able to manage. That is why I say that you can fast track your success through this beautiful science. Because once you're able to take care of these blocks, your road becomes smoother. And even when there are, see, life is never totally smooth. There will be roadblocks that will come, there will be troubles that will come. But our ability to bounce back, to come back in our own game, increases a lot because we are working on subconscious programming through graphotherapy. So our subconscious becomes more aware, more stronger. And that's why our ability to bounce back, to be able to overcome those roadblocks becomes far more better. Does this make sense? Anybody has any question on this regard? I'll take quick couple of questions now. Rest of the questions we can take it at the end of the workshop. But if currently you have any questions, okay.
Very well explained, ma'am. Very well explained in a very simple and understandable way that anyone, any layman, can understand what exactly we are trying and what are our blocks, are our problems. We could correlate what you are speaking. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And success is something, everybody desires. Success, happiness. And I think as human beings, it is our right to be happy. It is not a luxury. The conditioning that we put ourselves through makes that a question mark. Can I be happy? So there is again it's a big another topic for discussion, but this entire thing comes from the belief that every human has the right to be happy. Every human has a right to their idea of success. And I am no one to judge Anushka's idea of success or Nisha's idea of success with my idea of success. The same way as, you cannot judge my idea of success. I will just come to you, Gayatri. When I left my advertising work for graphology, you can imagine what must have happened in my neighborhood, in my family and all. Like leaving advertising, it's such a cool thing, advertising. And then what are you becoming? A graphologist? First thing, most of the people will say, what did you say? Graphology? What is that? So from being an advertising person, becoming a graphology person, but that was my idea of success. And I pursued it. And as a human being, I have the right to do that. I may succeed, I may not succeed. Both possibilities are there. But I should also have the internal strength to manage both. Success हुआ तो मजा ही है, of course. अगर नहीं successful हुआ तो ठीक है. Am I going wrong? Is this choice wrong? If it is, then what else can be done? What is my basic idea? I want to empower people. Okay, maybe graphology is not working. What else can be working? So that vision, when your vision is clear, वो फिर रास्ता निकल जाएगा. But that vision has to be clear. Yes, Gayatri, you were asking something.
Yeah, I think I got my answer actually. Ki if certain times it happens ki people you judge you a lot. So like as you said, ki advertising was your yeah, means you are good in advertising, but again you went into graphology. But then how to deal with that situation? That is another task. Changing the entire and convincing and then people become judgmental and that again is disturbing कि अरे शायद इसको कुछ आता ही नहीं है, इसको मिल नहीं रहा है सक्सेस, या इसलिए ये कर रही है वो कर रही है, so that again becomes frustrating. So I think dealing with people again is important thing. So
You know what you're talking about? Also, I would like to bring in over here that currently it sounds simple that I left advertising and I went into graphology. The the journey was not as straight as this. But of course, the webinar is not about me, so I'm not getting into details of that. But a lot of things happen between that point and this point. Why do we get carried away? Because we do not have clarity. When the clarity is missing of what exactly I want to do, we will easily get carried away in all directions. So I will go in east, west, north, south, northeast, southeast, southwest, everywhere I will go because I am not clear where I want to go. It's like trying to drive on a rainy day when your wipers are not working. Accident hona hi hai. And what is, so that is a physical accident. What is a mental accident? Somebody passing a judgment on graphology kar rahi hai. That's like, hitting. Somebody hit my car. Okay. Then something else happens. Oh, I mean, you're only earning this much kind of thing. And another accident happens. And again, I'm hit. But if the clarity is there, if my wipers are working well, whether it's a rainy day or a sunny day, I will continue going my North Star direction. So my North Star direction has to be very clear. And that clarity doesn't happen in a day. It's not, no. It happens over a period of time, but you have to constantly keep working on yourself. You have to constantly become aware of what you are. And you have to do your own trial and error. Your first hit may not be the thing that is for you, but you have to keep at it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So this is how, when I say fast track your success using graphology, this is what I mean. Understanding your blocks, utilizing this beautiful, powerful, and simple science. You know what I like most about this is that when I do graphotherapy or when I'm teaching somebody graphotherapy, I am utilizing a skill that they already know. I'm not teaching them to write. Writing is something everyone has learned when we were 6 years old. I'm only teaching them to write in a particular way. And how important writing is, you can easily understand by if any one of you is following things happening in USA or in, I think even in Sweden, it has started, that the government has started reintroducing handwriting in the curriculum. Otherwise, USA had, like it was everything digital. Sabke paas, bachcho ke paas tab hai. They are doing the exercises in tab, right answer, wrong answer. Everything is happening in tab. But they realized it's what the child is missing because the child is not learning to write. And one of the reasons why Indians do so well, I'm not saying that's the only reason, but one of the reasons, हम लोग तो लिखते ही रहते हैं. Till 10th standard, you like it or don't like it. Look at the smile on Anushka's face. We have to write. We don't have a choice. If given a choice, the youngsters today will not like to write, but we are forced to write. So we are forced to learn a skill that is extremely powerful for us. So the beauty is you can utilize it anytime. The funny thing was, अभी जो presidential election हुए, काफी सारे youngsters के vote were not being counted because they could not sign properly. So their votes got rejected. Now imagine, I mean, for Indians, it is like amazing. How can you not sign? So the government now, state by state, because they have a federal system and the central government cannot impose on all the states. So state by state, the government schools are now reintroducing handwriting in the curriculum. They are making it compulsory. And when a Western science-based, proof-based country introduces handwriting, it means you can be sure they have done decades of study. They have done decades of study, mind mapping, seeing the impact not writing is having on the human brain, how the development in many areas gets arrested. And that's why handwriting is being reintroduced. Well, I went a little off topic there, coming back. So that is the combination of handwriting. of success, of the roadblocks that we face, right? And I would like to end the session by introducing you to a very powerful graphotherapy stroke. Okay, now this stroke is in a way very simple, but its beauty lies in its simplicity, right? And I will just get my another camera on, so just give me a moment so that I can show you the stroke in a proper way. Okay, is this page visible? Let me pin it also. Where is the pin? Yeah. Proper visible है, like ये day proper पढ़ा जा रहा है?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So now I would like you to pick up your ruled sheet. You know where the lines are there. Now they may not have these kind of lines. You know what, actually? You all would not have this. So let me write it on a ruled page only and show it to you. Okay. Let's take this kind of a page. We all know to write the letter S. Here I'm going to do a kind of a modification of S, where I will be taking two lines. This one line and two lines. So I will be taking these two, okay? And just look at the way I'm writing the letter S. We begin like this, go down, come up. You see that? It's like a combination of 5. And actually, this is not a very ideal one, because if you notice carefully, the distance between the first two S is greater than the last two S. So it's not a very perfect one, but yeah, I'll do another one for you to see that. Practice this stroke with me. So this way you can go across the page. The beauty of this stroke is if you look at, this as the earth, the baseline, and this as the sky, like we are standing here, I'm drawing, and please excuse my drawing, but okay. So I'm standing here on the line, and this S stroke is touching, the earth level. And this is my head or the sky, so to say. When you look at the stroke, it very beautifully is taking the energy from earth, taking it out there in the sky, again scooping the energy from sky, grounding that energy back to the earth. So it's like, जो हमारे हवा में सपने होते हैं, हवा में, sky में, you kind of bring them back into earth. You ground that dream of yours. You nurture that dream of yours. And you again bring it back to sky. You again take that dream energy, come back to earth. So this stroke is, if people are aware of chakra system, then this is like your base chakra. This is like your crown chakra. So you are in a way engaging your entire body, the earth element, the sky element, and you're integrating it all together. And this stroke has so much of power. Is everybody clear with the stroke? Then I can change the camera.
Yes.
Okay. So I will change the camera in the meantime. So the beauty of this stroke lies in its simplicity, and it is also quite a lot like infinity sign. If I do not stop at 5, I can just continue doing this S stroke, infinitely, so to say. It's an infinite stroke. So this stroke has a lot of power of different elements of the way our energies work, where you are making everything unison, where you're making everything integrated. Now, this is one of the most simplest graphotherapy stroke, and this stroke can be used in multiple ways. First way to use it is do it in the morning. It's like doing your yoga. Do it in the morning, you are kind of set for the day. Other is maybe you can't do it in morning. You already have your processes or certain morning routines that you have, taking care of home, kitchen, whatever that is. So whenever you are stressed, you just sit down, take any page, doesn't matter, and just make the stroke and connect with the stroke. When the pen is moving up and down, if you just observe the pen, it is amazing how you are just thinking कि मेरा pen ऊपर जा रहा है, but actually the pen has started going down. It just flows. It just flows. And even if you just observe your pen when you're making the stroke, you will find your mind space changing, a lot of calmness setting in. So that's another way to use the stroke. When you are stressed, when you are distressed, when you are confused, just use the stroke. In fact, there is another 11-minute technique that I have developed. Probably in one of these webinars, I will take that up. That how you can utilize this stroke with different other techniques and get into a creative space. So actually, I will note it down. I had not thought of that. I will include the 11-minute one also. Yeah. So this is a very powerful graphotherapy stroke, which you can utilize at any point in time. And in the webinars to follow, I would be using this stroke time and again. So keep practicing and you will see the power of this stroke. I would really encourage you to try this out, this stroke, and be free. Specifically, if you have children around you, help them with this stroke. Anushka, even your friends, if some friends here, they're very stressed most of the time, teach them this stroke. Okay, and be the star of the group. Yeah. But jokes apart, teach it to people around you. You don't have to probably explain so much. Just say कि ऐसा करो और देखो अच्छा लग रहा है तो करो. And then take a feedback. Is it impacting them? How is it impacting them? Yeah. Okay. Neelamji, what kind of guidance would you require? Can you elaborate on that?
The correction in F, the word F.
Okay.
Double stroke आता है ना? It's just like
It can be viewed as F also. Many people write F like this. Yes.
mm,
Mhm.
any guidance you can.
So I'm not getting your question. So are you asking that is this stroke a kind of an F? Is that your question?
I think she is wanting to know how F should be written, I guess.
Is that your
Is it, Neelamji?
Are you
Or
asking F should be written?
you're on mute if you're speaking.
Okay, Neelamji, I guess you have my personal number. You are in the group, so you can message me personally and get that thing clarified. So this is as far as this particular stroke is concerned. Also, there is a lot of power in the way we hold the pen. I have made a video on how to hold the pen, on which finger should be guiding. Should it be the thumb? Should it be the index finger? Where should the middle finger be? What happens? Currently, in many schools, they are actually using a tripod pen holding, which is just not healthy. So tripod hand holding is like something like this. Something like this. So actually, it's not a very healthy way of holding pen. So there's a lot of education that is actually required in even the way the pen has to be held. I will share that in the group, so you can. There are 2 videos on that, so you can check on that. So that's as far as today's content on the fast track your success through handwriting is concerned. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will just stop the record. So my what if you feel that your progress is getting really hampered by the blocks that we saw, that it is unmanageable, then graphotherapy is a way forward that you can consider. There are many modalities that help in their own way, and every modality has its own beauty, has its own power. So there is nothing like this is better than that. No, everything has its own pluses and minuses. Where I see graphology working really beautifully is that with a simple writing, which we know since we were 6, I can rewire my brain. I love this simplicity and beauty of handwriting, and that is why I follow it um, so crazily. Like I can say I'm married to handwriting. So that's why my passion for this science is, because in a very simple and uncomplicated way, I can guide my subconscious to be wired in a certain way. So uh, I'm open for any questions that you have now.